Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the tennis world lately. Coco Gauff's latest milestone at the National Bank Open in Toronto. But before we get into the stats and the numbers, let me just say this. Gauff's journey is one of those stories that makes you stop and think about the bigger picture. Personally, I think what makes this really interesting is how she's not just winning matches, she's breaking barriers and rewriting records at such a young age. It's not just about the tennis. It's about the narrative she's building for herself and the sport. So, here's the deal. Gauff just advanced to her 25th career WTA 1000 quarterfinal. That's huge. But what's even more fascinating is the context. This is her first quarterfinal in Toronto in 3 years, and it comes after a couple of years where the round of 16 seemed like her stopping point. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just a comeback, it's a statement. She's proving that setbacks are temporary, and resilience is her superpower. What many people don't realize is how rare this level of consistency is, especially for someone who's only 22. I mean, since 1990, only Martina Hingis has achieved something similar before turning 23. That's elite company. Now, let's talk about her performance in Toronto. Gauff hasn't dropped a single set in her first 3 matches, and her 6-3, 6-1 win over Alina Korneeva was a masterclass in efficiency. But here's where it gets really intriguing. Korneeva wasn't just any opponent. She's a teenage qualifier, who had just pulled off 2 massive upsets against seeded players. So, Gauff didn't just win. She dominated someone who was riding a wave of momentum. In my opinion, this speaks volumes about her mental toughness. When the stakes are high, she rises to the occasion. That's the mark of a champion. What this really suggests is that Gauff is not just a talented player, she's a strategic thinker. Her record against qualifiers this year is 5-1, with her only loss coming to Elisabetta Cocchiaretto in Doha. And against players outside the top 50. She's 16-2. These numbers aren't just impressive, they are telling. They show that she's not just beating the big names, she's consistently taking care of business against lower-ranked opponents. That's a level of focus and discipline that's rare, even among the top players. But here's a detail I find fascinating. Gauff's record against teenagers is 19-2. The 2 losses to Iga Swiatek in 2021 and Victoria Mboko in 2025, both of whom went on to win the tournament. This raises a deeper question. Is Gauff's strength her ability to learn from her losses? Because if you look at her trajectory, she doesn't just bounce back, she comes back stronger. Personally, I think this is what separates her from many of her peers. She's not just playing the game. She's studying it, evolving with it. Now, let's zoom out for a second. Gauff's success isn't just about her. It's part of a bigger trend in women's tennis, the rise of young, dynamic players who are reshaping the sport. From my perspective, she's not just a competitor, she's a catalyst. Her achievements are inspiring a new generation of players, and that's something that goes beyond the court. One thing that immediately stands out is how she's handling the pressure of being a top-ranked player at such a young age. It's not just about winning titles, it's about carrying the weight of expectations and still thriving. As we wrap this up, I'm left with one thought: what's next for Coco Gauff? She's already achieved so much, but the way she's playing, it feels like we're only seeing the beginning. In my opinion, her story is far from over. She's not just chasing records, she's building a legacy. And if there's one thing I'm certain of, it's that we'll be talking about her for years to come. So, here's my question for you. What do you think is the most impressive part of Gauff's journey so far? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep watching, keep thinking, and keep appreciating the brilliance of this sport.